first, let's go ahead and get into this Machine Gun Kelly thing. Like, a lot of people were getting pissed off because Machine Gun Kelly has a series of signature guitars made by Schecter Guitars, and it's led to a lot of conversation, if you will. So the guitar was released in January. It's called the Machine Gun Kelly Razor Blade, and it's in the shape of a razor blade. I guess the issue here is that in the punk scene, there's a lot of self-harm, and people don't feel that that should be, I guess, hyped up or whatever. Here's a tweet from Metal Burb. Says, I know MGK sucks and people don't like him, but what's up with the guitar being a razor? It's almost like it's glorifying self-harm. Schecter, man, the scene has problems with mental health, and making tools that can cause self-harm look cool is actually super lame. To me, that's fucking ridiculous. Mainly because, razor blades, safety pins, those things are iconic with punk rock. The big issue with Machine Gun Kelly is that he's obviously a poser, and using all this punk rock imagery is complete and utter bullshit hand job stuff. And that's what's offensive to me. But people don't call motherfuckers out on being posers anymore. Nobody seems to care about sellout shit. To me, it's kind of a thin argument to say the punk scene, it has a lot of self-harm, so we're concerned about this. If you're listening to Machine Gun Kelly, you're not on the punk scene.
Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong?
You're like a kid in the suburbs sitting in their house. Like, it's not a thing. This is like for like chicks at malls and shit like that. There's nobody on the scene listening to this. So it could be whatever. It could be a dildo. It could be whatever shape. It would not matter whatsoever. To me, everything that's offensive about this guitar is just about, the guitar itself. The fucking thing, it opened up selling for over $2,000.
You can kiss my ass!
It's just a regular ass guitar. I wouldn't pay $300 fucking dollars for this monstrosity. It looks like one of these fucking, back in the day, there was this blues guitarist named Bo Diddley, and he would play this guitar that looked like it was a box. And this looks like that. It's clear there's been no thought put into the design whatsoever. If you're going to do the razor blade body, why just put the standard bullshit ass head on the top of it? Put something cool. When Machine Gun Kelly finally commented on it, he said, "You show your lack of depth by taking art at face value. This has nothing to do with any of the subject matter you just presented. So no, my friend, you suck." This is a good example of how kind of twisted shit gets on the internet, because here you have people taking a huge leap thinking that this has anything to do with self-harm or glorifying self-harm or anything like that. Machine Gun Kelly said that the guitar was, and I quote, "kind of an ode to Tickets to My Downfall, the line on the title track, and also an ode to my 20s and all the crazy times that I had." Which to me means that this could only be about cocaine and not self-harm. I feel like people have such strong predispositions in their head. Like, a lot of people, I feel like, are searching for shit to seize on, because this is the stuff that generates the most clicks. This is the shit that's gonna get you followers and all that shit. Or maybe you have your own traumas that make you jump to this conclusion. Like, you look at this other tweet from Machine Gun Kelly. He says, "I'll never explain my art because true art is conversational and always up for interpretation. But I will say, most of you constantly interpret it wrong and then blame me for your version of what you think my art is. Ultimately, I'm sad at how people perceive me in general. Peace."
Vagina.
This generated so much conversation online that even stupid ass Ronnie Radke got involved. He says, "My guy, I'm not jumping on any sides here, but come on, have we gotten so lost? We are now complaining about a razor blade guitar because it might trigger people to self-harm, but you turn around and give my video of me murdering people with guns a thumbs up? I like you, bro. Let the man live." And, if Ronnie Radke's on your side, you're probably at least being an asshole. I really, at the end of the day, Machine Gun Kelly is not to be taken seriously. The main issue that's fucking annoying about the guitar is how fucking ugly it is. He talks about it like it's a piece of art that he personally designed. If he had anything to do with the design at all, this motherfucker probably said, "Do you know it'd be cool? Fucking, razor blade guitar." It looks like it's Frankenstein together with like 2 or 3 different guitars. It looks like no effort was put into it in terms of designing it, in terms of building it. Several people said, well, it's not the ugliest shit ever, but is that the line of demarcation that we're going for? Not the ugliest shit ever? He should be playing the stupid pink guitar that he has on the cover of his album. That should be the signature Machine Gun Kelly guitar, and that should be it. This other shit, it doesn't have anything to do with him other than what we know, which is that he was a cokehead in his 20s. So what? The guitar, it must not be selling well. It's already been marked down $500, but once again, that just has it at $1,500 for this gross ass little boxy piece of shit. If you're a little kid and you're thinking about getting your first guitar, please, kids, don't get anything like this. This is too expensive. It's too much for your mommy and daddy. What you gotta do is go get like a little fucking $200 electric guitar, little piece of shit amp, and you start to learn to ride the lightning that way. And you build up. Maybe one day, by the time you get old enough to where you could afford the Machine Gun Kelly guitar, hopefully you'd have gone through puberty and now you'll want something better for yourself.
Hove did that. So hopefully none of y'all have to go through that.
It's whatever. I don't question him being a sellout ass piece of shit. That's who he's always been. The fact that he failed at everything else and came to rock music and found success, that's what's annoying to me. He starts off as a rapper and he had a little bit of success. I had heard his name several times, but it all came crashing down when he decided to pick a fight with Eminem. Don't tug on Superman's cape, as they say, and you sure as fuck don't challenge Eminem to any sort of verbal jousting, because of course Machine Gun Kelly was humiliated by Eminem, and he was in fact so humiliated that he was run completely out of the rap game altogether. After that, he decides, you know what, I'm going to be an actor. I've failed at being a rapper. I'm going to be an actor now. And he essentially failed as an actor, but he was in a Netflix movie about Motley Crue. And during his time in the Netflix Motley Crue movie, which was an awful fucking movie, he decided, you know what, being a rock star sounds really cool. He goes to Travis Barker, who is famously the drummer for Blink-182, but here in the last, 15, 20 years, he's almost become just as known for being a producer and essentially manufacturing pop punk hits for anyone that's got the money to pay for them. So I didn't have a problem with a Machine Gun Kelly just making fucking generic pop punk. But what I do have a problem with, and this has nothing to do with Machine Gun Kelly, and it has more to do with sort of the machine around him. It all fucking comes together like Voltron and forms the bullshit that is Machine Gun Kelly, the rock star. And it's completely fabricated. It almost speaks to how far rock has fallen, that we're willing to take in all this fucking garbage. Back when I was younger, it was country music. Like, if you were a musician and you kind of just ran out of gas and nobody wanted to buy your shit anymore, what you would do is make a country album. And those motherfuckers were so desperate for any mainstream acknowledgement whatsoever that they would eat up whoever the fuck it was. Steven Tyler did it, Sheryl Crow, Jewel, a lot of people. Like, you'd go, once your album started not selling worth a shit, you go to country and you pop some cheap hits off these fucking idiots. And it hurts me. Like, it hurts me that rock is now that now you could say, well, I failed at everything else. Let me make a rock album. Let me be a rock star. Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly, he's already like 30 something. He's already almost aged out. You got to find the next asshole to put in there, and then that person will be the new sellout. It's a never-ending circle. It's like the circle of life, except it's like excrement. You know, it's all shitty, all lowbrow bullshit, and kids buy it because they're fucking stupid. So we solved that. Moving on.